Hey everybody, welcome back to more Drawin and Jawin, a little bit sooner than normal, but hey, maybe it becomes a habit, maybe it doesn't. Who knows? Don't take it as a sign. But today, I finished my Frank Miller series, first of all, and I actually just got the books back from the printer here, so let's go through those first. I got the After Frank Miller zine put together, just got it back from the printer. Here's the front and back cover. As you can see, put a blue line blank figure so you can draw your own and email it to me, and I'm going to post that on a blog and try to put all those together in one spot. I think that would be a fun little collection. But yeah, the zine looks great. Everything printed really well. Columbia Printing and Graphics did a wonderful job, and I'm very happy with it. I'm going to have them at the Charleston Zine Fest on August 4th. Come and grab one in person, $5 a piece. I also have my book of a zine of pen and ink portraits, Facebook, which just basically collects portraits I've done over the last 4 or 5 years or so, from 2021. I guess it'd be till 2024, so 3 years, not even that long. But yeah, done in pen and ink, some brush, some like these first three are brush and dip pen, and then the rest of it's mostly fountain pen and sketchbook or on Bristol board. I got into drawing on the BCW comic book board backing, which is just the little piece of cardboard you put in a plastic sleeve to bag and board your comics. But yeah, it's just kind of works as a little portfolio / art book. Always, of course, these ones I did for the portrait competition for the art fields in Lake City. And then this is Twin Toasters. There's a video of me doing that one if you go a few videos back. And then a little ad to commission a portrait, which if you want to, just send me an email or I'll put a link to the Google form in the description here. I'm always down to do a portrait if you got a good reference. And then just a little ad for me and how to get in touch on the back. So yeah, I'm really happy with these. For the Frank Miller one, I actually am planning on selling all the originals for $100 a piece. I've already sold 3 of them, waiting on a yes on the 4th. But all these are for sale, $100 a piece. They are 9x12 Bristol board, done with pencil and ink brush. I have the brush in here. Actually, I'm going to be working with that today so you can see that in action. And then I mostly used this here, Dr. P.H. Martin's High Carb Black Star India ink, except for Master Blaster. I did that one in, here it is, the Black Magic Higgins, because I wanted to see the difference. And this one's a little bit more gray, I would say. The Dr. P.H. Martin's comes out a little bit more black. Oh yeah, whoops, went backwards. Didn't mean to show that one yet, but we got Megazord, Giant Robot from Johnny Sock and his Flying Robot, Ava 01. Actually, this is the one that might have sold here. Concrete, Street Angel, Dragon Ball Z, Carrie Kelly from The Dark Knight Returns, and lastly, if you saw the inside back cover of this, I will draw you like this. You pay me $100 and give me a good reference, couple of reference photos maybe, and I'll draw you in this pose. Ship it to you, no extra charge, $100 flat. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna have those for sale in my shop probably after the Charleston Zine Fest, which again, Charleston Zine Fest on August 4th at the Halsey Institute in Charleston, South Carolina. Please come on out. We'll have Gut and Ghost, After Frank Miller, Portrait Zine, and then working on one bonus thing today, continuing the Frank Miller theme here. I took a page. I thought it would be very funny to take his book, The Dark Knight Returns, and make it about McDonald's. And I was going to call it The Dark Mac Tonight Returns. The overarching premise, Ronald McDonald is fed up and brings back the Mac Tonight alter ego. The short-lived mascot, I believe, from the 80s and early 90s. But, the little moon-faced guy that plays the piano. So to test that, see how good that premise works, I decided to redraw page 1 of book 1 of The Dark Knight Returns. As you can see here, we have Bruce Wayne He's in a racing car of some sort. He smashes it up. And then I have to zoom out to get the rest of that. But then there's some like editorializing or whatever. So I decided to do my best to kind of adapt that. So we're working on that today. I got the colors on it yesterday, as much as I could. There's a couple of things I still got to do, but I think it'll be easier to do once I lay some ink brush down. So we're going to be doing that today, and probably going back and forth with watercolors. I'm using this Winsor Newton set a friend of mine gave me. It's a very nice portable set, and then I'm using a, just one of these water pens. What is it, a Pentel? You can get them at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. They're really cheap. Usually, excuse me, come in packs of 2. But for inking today, I like to use, I got this as a Christmas gift years ago. I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be using the smallest one, just because I've been having some good luck with it recently. I've been on a roll with it. That's what I did a lot of the last few Frank Miller ones with, and there's a really good variation of line quality. So that's what we're using today. I'm also going to try to use this Higgins matte ink here. I mentioned last time the little dropper was all clogged up, and I unclogged it, and it seems to be coming out a little bit goopy. It's dried a little bit since I put some in here, but let me see if I can demonstrate that for you. Let me move the artwork just in case I spill. We'll put that there. Unscrew that, get a mouthful. Watch how that comes out. Oh, it's less goopy now. But you see how it swirls around? I don't know. Maybe you can't see it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe since I shook it up a few times, it's okay now. So yeah, I guess that's always the answer. Shake up the ink. You don't want any of that residue to settle, I guess. Anyway, let's get to work. Enough jawing. Now we'll just kind of draw and talk to ourselves. We'll have the book here for reference if we need it. Give that a dip. That seems to have dried pretty good. Actually, I do like that matte finish on it. I did a test line on my paper over here. It dried pretty good, so I think we'll be okay. See, that's why we test these, with the little drops coming off. Got a little more ink on there. That looks good. Okay. A little bit more up there. Okay. Just don't want to get any more ink on it than we need to. Probably move this like that. Sorry, I should have got myself more situated. All right, so we got the hat. And as always, I'm doing this with a little bit of a deadline today. I've got a meeting in about an hour and a half, but it's a brief one, so if I don't finish before that, I'll just do a cut and then, shoot a separate video and cut that in. Hopefully it won't be noticeable, but I bet that it will be. Here, we just want to get these lines a little more solid. That looks fine. Don't want to overdo it either. Definitely feel free to move the paper as needed. Just gotta get these initial lines laid down and we'll be all hopefully out of practice mode here. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Okay. Yeah, just kind of outline the old box there. Do our test up here. Make sure we're not getting ink on our fingers too as we move from back to forth. So there's the question. Are we gonna do this like really thin line and go start to go really thick? We could probably do it that way, I think. Let's give it a shot. Let's thin this out a little bit. We don't want to go. Oh, it's fine. Let's see. Fill that spot in. Start to and that'll at least let the color come through. We can see an indication of the direction in which that plane runs. So that's good. I think that should remain darker there. I kind of like working from thin to thick. Let's do that until I change my mind. Alright. So I'm not going in with any set idea except for a couple of spots. It's probably insane that I'm already going for any sort of value, but again, I think this is kind of an area where that has to be semi blocked in, but I don't want it to be completely blocked in, you know? 'Cause I still want to indicate direction of the visor. this one we can have just kind of do that. We don't have to have them be as thick. Kind of differentiate the planes by giving them kind of those two value spaces. Hopefully that reads as moving in that direction. So I'm not exactly trying to copy what they're doing. I want to kind of get the overall vibe of what they're doing. But, you know, at the same time, I'm not Frank Miller, nor am I Klaus Janson, nor am I Lynn Varley. But, so I'd like to see like how, you know, the, like where my voice kind of comes in on something like this. So it's like kind of a fun exercise. So you get to kind of study a master in a way. But then it's like, oh, like, well, can you kind of keep this gag going that I also think is kind of funny, making it about McDonald's and like these mascot kind of wars, mascots as superheroes, and then applying like, I don't know, the funniest framework to it. Like, sure, you could probably do like a Rob Liefeld McDonald's or something like that, like a Rob Liefeld Ronald McDonald Cable or something like that. I don't know, you could do all kinds of stuff. That's what, I don't know, I just think it's a fun thing to play with. I think these images are funny put together. So now we want to get a little bit more into the outlining and possibly even a little bit of value up there. But we want to do this a little. Oh wait, I almost started going in on that one. Outline that so far this black seems to be fine. It's pretty dang black. Which is good, I guess, if that's what you want out of an ink. And with black ink, you want it to be nice and black. Might have to clean that up with some gesso. I think that's So some watercolor that got in there. We could just leave that, I guess. It's not too bad. Start attacking it from the other side. See if we get a nice fluid motion going. There we go. That works for me. This is kind of a fun page. I'm really happy with it so far. It's better than I thought it was going to turn out. And it was really fun, like really slowly looking at all, 4, 8, 12, 16 panels that they cram onto one page. Kind of really makes you appreciate some of those, in the book they're tinier drawings, but I don't know what size he was actually working on, but it might have been, I'm assuming, probably the traditional like American 11 by 17 or whatever, but whatever. Regardless, probably wasn't the same, size it was printed on, I'm sure. So it makes you appreciate like the amount of care put into like each panel, not only like as far as like detail, but like his panels are very direct. They show you like a drawing of like a theme or whatever. I don't know, it just boils down everything to like this, like a really masterful abbreviation. But they're also like really kind of postmodern too. Like some of them get like a little bit abstract, like particularly when I got to these like explosion scenes, it was fun to try to like, okay, well I can't just draw that composition directly because there's like, it's just kind of generic explosion, but it's also like specifically in this language he's drawing in here. So it's like, all right, well, how do I do something that captures that vibe, but make it like what I'm going for? And that's where like, it had to get inventive. Like with this one, I had actually recently watched like a TikTok or something of a fryer overflowing. So I went and found that and, just have the oil bubbling over again, but then also try to be like, all right, well, how would I draw this in that style? Like, how would this be rendered in this? So this is like kind of an abstract picture. This is kind of abstract, but if you know what it is, you can tell. And then this one was a lot of fun to draw. I did the, you know, the hamburger flying everywhere with the fries, and then the fries all in like the negative space. That was fun. So like stuff like that, I had to get inventive, or you know what I think is inventive. I'm kind of proud of it, so deal with it. Get that a little bit more wet. But yeah, it's been kind of a fun process for stuff like that, where like, you know, you don't want to directly rip off. You definitely want to have like some like echoes, you know. But some stuff, like, you know, I'm not, like, I'm doing the dialogue, but I'm like changing it a little bit to be like about what I want it to be about. There we go. That looks cool. You just want to be simple. You don't want to be too complicated with this stuff. I'm going to do a little bit more on the bottom here just to balance that out. Because again, I'm not exactly trying to copy 100% Frank Miller here. I like Frank Miller a lot. I've definitely been reading his work for, I don't know, it was like 10th, 11th grade. I got into Frank Miller that summer between. It sounds like it could be a song. The summer I met Frank Miller was between 10th and 11th grade. That was like 2004. It's like nearly 20 years ago. So I'm not like, again, like people were there for it. I was not there for it. I was at the library when I found it. All right, that looks pretty good for that panel. I like that. On to the next one. All right, so let's flip this around and start outlining. Then I might have to go over the dialogue again too, but I don't know if I want to do that with the brush. That one might be a job for a nib, perhaps. But I don't know. Maybe I'll experiment. I'll do some dry runs on a separate piece of paper. But basically, oh yeah, I guess I haven't really explained like the process for this comic. So it's like, I don't know. I just kind of, you know, I think some of this might be informed by doing those Frank Miller Dark Knight Triumphant pose drawings I was doing, which I'll probably do more at some point, but we'll cool it for now. I think we oversaturated the market. People are sick of them. But where I was just laying down pencil and then going back and forth between like the next step in the process. So I start with my draft pencil, you know, to kind of get the overall shapes of everything in, and, you know, just kind of block in the space and like kind of break it up by shapes mostly. And then you go in with this 0.7 millimeter. That's what I like to do. Mechanical pencil. Get a little bit more precise detail in there. So you work out like, you know, character expressions. They're more of a dynamic figure, folds in the clothing, where some of your value might start to lie. And then for this one, because I decided I wanted to do this in watercolor, after I got the 0.7 millimeter done, I went in with a 0.1 micron pen. Okay. And it was, you know, it's not the newest one, but it's not the worst one. But I was able to kind of go over the 0.7 millimeter lines and clean up a lot of that mess with the ink. And the line was light enough and thin enough to where I could erase everything, you know. Be left only with that micron line, which was like solid, but not overly solid, which is perfect. Provided a good outline for then going in with watercolors, which again was also, I just approached as like, how do I break up some of this space? Because some of it was even more abstract looking in just the black and white, especially like my wife had to ask me what this was and this was. Yeah, the color definitely seems like it works both to clarify and then also add a little bit of abstraction on its own too, which is fun because they don't necessarily become even more clear now that they're colored, but the breaking up of the composition and their individual shapes are definitely more clear. Right now we're doing Ronald's afro. But yeah, this has been, it just kind of came to me, just BSing with the people over on the K-Fam Sunday page about like, oh, what if it was, Dark Knight Returns, but McDonald's? And it got some laughs, and then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, you could insert, like, you could do all kinds of stuff with this. You could insert all kinds of different fast food mascots, which I think is the direction I'm going to go in. But that's like such a long term thing. Like this, like when I was thinking about it, I kind of forgot like how long this book is and like how many pages it would be. So this is like, we'll see how long I keep up with this. I think if I just keep it to a casual, just have a page going, something to kind of warm up or cool down with. And then this one page I just kind of I wanted to get it done real fast because I also had the idea of like, well, how would you be able to like publish this? Because like obviously if I try to make my own version of The Dark Knight Returns, that's going to be so many pages. That's going to like cost a ton of money to print, and I'm not going to do that. I don't think there's that much interest in this. However, if there is, maybe I'll do like a Kickstarter if I ever get to that point. But we're not at that point. We're still on page 1 here. So let's not even think about that. But basically what I came to the conclusion of is like, oh, all these like drawings would be perfect for like a mini fold out zine because they're the right kind of shape for that. You do each panel on a page. And then I got 16 panels here, so I think what I would probably do is like print all of the first 8 or 7. I think you can do 8 if you include the cover on one side, and then print the other ones on the other side, continuing. So you can flip it over and then refold it to get the other half of it. So I thought that might be fun. But I'll experiment with that. I'm not married to that yet. I think it would be really cool. Instead of doing like the secret drawing you do, or you get like a bonus zine with it. We don't have to go for too much detail here because we're pretty zoomed out, but we do want to establish foreground and background, so weight of line is going to be important. It's going to be imperative. And then we also want to hatch that in similar to how we did this other one. On there. A little test. There we go. This might go a little faster than I thought. We'll see, though. Still might end up being 2 videos though, I think. Necessarily have to be connected like that. You just gotta have a nice movement to them. That's good. I got about 45 minutes before I have to cut it off and get ready to go, so that's fine. That's fine. All right, where are we now? Let's do. Oh, this is gonna be not that fun. See if we can get these little teeny tiny thin lines going here. All right, not so bad. I'm happy with that. those letters there. Brush do its shape thing and kind of just pivot direction a little bit and give it a little more pressure if you want it to go thick, and then let the brush do the work. Definitely want more of a point there though. And you can always fill it in with more of a point. That should probably start thinning out a little bit there. Because it starts to recede behind here. Probably bring this border to the bottom to help darken that up a little, perhaps. Still go this way actually, so we'll start from down here. There we go. fix that somehow. Whoops a daisy. We'll save that part for later, but we can make that work later. We'll just leave that. We'll move past that part. Go to the next thing. I must have smeared some ink on there at some point. was a little bit more involved than the others, it seems like. But we're almost done. Gives me a good idea how long something like this will take. That's the other thing trying to gauge is what is the workload for something like this? Because ideally it would be cool to do it all with the watercolors and stuff too. Because it's also like an idea I was fiddling with another comic I had doing. I figured this was a good kind of test. This would be a good kind of comic to test new ideas on. So I guess if I do continue doing this long term, it's very possible that drawing style could change or alter a little bit, or maybe I make a concerted effort to, when I do come back to this, try to stick with a drawing style I've established, but especially because I'll be going off of somebody else's work here as like kind of a template. You know what, I think that's okay. We'll make that work. Maybe I won't edit the videos together because this might go on long enough to be a good video on its own. But I'll definitely shoot another one and maybe schedule it to upload kind of back to back. That might be the move. Alrighty, that might be the move, I think. But yeah, sorry, not too much talking. I'm just kind of doing the same kind of thing. I mean, just relying on the brush and how much pressure you put down to kind of create some of these shapes and the thinning and thickening of the lines. The brush is all about pressure and having that control. And any amount of wavering kind of tends to show up. So it's also important to try to work a little bit quick. Maybe not super quick, but yeah, see, I didn't go for a dip. I knew I should have gone for a dip. Maybe not super quick, but quick enough. And you can try to eliminate some of those micro movements, which is not something I'm terribly good at yet. I like these kind of small movements, but you do get some accuracy too. Takes some getting used to, that's for sure. Have Wonder Woman be the Starbucks mermaid. That'd be funny. I think she shows up in this one, or isn't that the other one? I can't remember. I can't remember. Looks like I'll have to reread them both soon enough then. I had so many things I gotta read and reread. There we go. That might be a good spot to end it right there. Oh, nope, I forgot one more thing. Gotta outline this fire over here. I'm thinking a nib might be the best for the lettering. I'll take a look at what size ones I got. I got a definitely got a G nib or two. But I have other sizes. I might look at those. But yeah, that'll do it for now. Take a good look here. I'm pretty happy with that. Anyway, stay tuned for next time. We'll do the next 4, and then the next 4, and then the next 4. Hopefully I'll get it all on camera for you. But thanks for coming by, and check the link in the description. You know, I'm gonna put the definitely gonna put a few of these up for sale, and you know, if you've seen any of the original drawings you like, you know, again, we got the Decimator, Master Blaster, Tetsuo from Akira, Popeye, Joe Biden, Megazord, Giant Robot, Johnny Sacco and the Flying Robot, Unit 01, but this one may have been spoken for, Concrete, Street Angel, Gohan, and Robin. Those are the ones I have for sale. I suppose you can make me an offer on my self-portrait, but I'm probably going to hang that up somewhere in my house. But yeah, check the link in the description to my Shopify. I'll probably have this posted under like original art, or, you know, zines will be under zines or art books or something. I'll figure it out, but there'll be a link in there. You'll find it. It's easy to do. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, comment, and check me out on Instagram at scoon.art, and I'll see you next time.